Hi, I'm Kelly. I decided to look into a family advocate for Head Start because I have been a parent in the Head Start program for a couple years now. We have an advocate that comes to our house monthly. Her name is Rachel, and I've enjoyed talking to her about her job in the past, but I really enjoyed interviewing her for this project so I could find out more about her job because it's something that I've been contemplating. She works for Head Start, which is a national corporation. It's a program that's government funded, so it is large. Our area, we live in southern Idaho, so it's a lot of little tiny towns, and she has to travel a lot. But the whole area covers about 600 children. I think she covers about 30, just herself. She works 40 hours in a work week. She said sometimes more, but it's kind of discouraged to have overtime. Half of it is from home, and the rest is traveling for meetings and such. She says it's very family friendly because she can do half of it from home and doesn't have to have her daughter go to childcare during those times. Also, if she needs to go to the office, she's welcome to bring her child every once in a while. It's happened often with other employees, so she feels safe doing it, and she says that's really nice to have that option if she's in a bind. She only has to talk to her boss about once every week. She has a couple of meetings with supervisors every 2 weeks. She goes to the homes and visits. She talks about goals and safety measures in the home. She keeps track of different time spent pursuing goals in the family and different things like reading and parent involvement and stuff, and that helps get the government to fund their program by keeping track of those things. She's required to gather the health information about the children in the program. They have to have regular doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, certain tests like hemoglobin tests or iron tests, or I think they do a lead test as well. She has to do that to make sure that the families are keeping up with those requirements, because if they aren't, then they can't be a part of the program. She says that can kind of be a stressor because a lot of times the family doesn't want to cooperate. After the visit, she goes and puts all the information into a computer system. She also heads parent dinners, father involvement activities, parenting classes, and literacy picnics. All of those are pretty enjoyable. I haven't been to the father involvement ones, but my husband has, and he said that those are pretty fun and that she does a really good job with them. She also needs to be knowledgeable about the community resources. This is very important because she deals with all low-income families, and there are a lot of families that need heat assistance or help with Christmas presents for their children and food bank and WIC program, everything. She needs to know what's available in our community and give adequate information to the families so they can have that available to them. She says the typical stressors are, one, the medical requirements that I mentioned. There's pressure to get in the home. She needs to have a monthly visit, and a lot of times the families aren't really willing to work with her, and some of the families don't want her in their home, so it can be emotionally tough for her to have that problem. But the most difficult thing that she mentioned was seeing unfit parents with their children, and she really struggles with that. She sometimes may have to report neglect or abuse. She said the typical benefits, though, are she has really good health insurance, she has a retirement plan, she gets reimbursement for her mileage that she uses, which is important in this area because we have so many small towns in this area. She had a lot of traveling to get all of her families in. She's given a laptop to use, and they pay for her supplies, but the most important thing that she really likes is the paid time off. It lines up with all of the school holidays and breaks, so that would be great for me in the future if I decide to go into this career. because they have children in school, it would be awesome to have the same breaks as they do and get to spend that time with them. So they have the Christmas and spring breaks, fall breaks, and she also gets 2 weeks of personal leave. The starting salary range is 30 grand, which isn't that great. The other downside is that the more experienced you get, you don't really get raises. She said that's really hard. The total difference from last year to this year was $14 in total salary. So that's a really small difference, and she had a hard time with that. But she said even though it's low pay, she loves the benefits and that she can do most of it from home. That she only has to have her child in a daycare facility or with a babysitter for 20 hours a week. That makes it a big difference for her. That's all I have. Thank you.